welcome you guys for LabWeek Path to Progress. This is the mini workshop on space. Who here has been to one of the series already? Okay, yeah, I've seen you every day. Well done, you guys. You get a badge at the end of this. Thank you so much for joining. For those of you who may not know what LabWeek is, I will put on my Protocol Labs hat for a second. This is Protocol Labs Network, with which Foresight, where I'm hailing from, we're co-hosting this mini workshop series. And Protocol Labs is kind of like a network of different organizations that are driving breakthroughs in computing to push humanity forward. So Protocol Labs, the company, has kind of spun out this network of basically making more progress kind of as a community, as a network. They have three different interest areas. One is securing the internet and establishing digital human rights. One is upgrading economies and governance system, and then one is developing safe VR, AR, AI, robotics, BCI, and whole brain emulation. So we had a lot of really interesting workshops in some of these areas already throughout this week, but this is part of LabWeek, and there were a bunch of different areas. So this mini workshop series is only one of many in the space, and kind of we're coming to a closing here. So you guys are the last one, but definitely not least in this mini workshop series. So thanks everyone who had such a long breath. It was really fun. I will share this again at the end of it, but I would encourage you to sign up to the Protocol Labs network directory. If you have a project that is making progress on a relevant area in that space, this is where you guys can find each other and find collaborators in that larger network. So it's really wonderful. We're on there, a bunch of other orgs are on there, many of the presenters are on there. And so yeah, really encourage you to kind of reach out amongst yourself as well. That is a few words on Protocol Labs. Now, Foresight is the organization that I'm running. It was founded in 1986, so longer than I've been around, on a mission of advancing undervalued, high-impact science and technology for the benefit of humanity and life in general. And we have these different technological tracks: nanotech, biotech, neurotech, computation, and space. In all of these, we have fellowships, prizes, larger workshops, and then now this mini workshop series that I'm welcoming you to now. And so, we usually do these technical workshops that are quite big, 60 people, 2 days. But we thought maybe for LabWeek it would be really interesting to get people in the room that are interested in both new R&D technologies and people that are actually working on these scientific domains, to actually do a mini workshop and to see if there's some useful interdisciplinary collaborations that are happening. And so in this one today, we'll have plenty of speakers that are both heading from space, and then we have a few folks that are really deep in crypto, and then a few that are already kind of bridging these two domains, I would say. So now it's up to you. Please whack out your phone or your laptop, whatever you have, and open up this link. This will be the collaboration doc that we'll be using for this workshop series. So if you're not on there yet, please open up this doc now. I'll give you about a minute or something, and then I will explain to you a little bit what the hell is this doc for. All right, well, let's see. If I see, oh, lots of anonymous animals online. Great, that's wonderful. So what are we doing today? If you want to join any of the Telegram group, for example, that is shared across the entire LabWeek, the link for that is there. You can have the full workshop page here, the rest of the calendar here, and the LabWeek schedule. So any links that you may need, they're all down here. But in terms of what we'd love to do today is collect a few individual fields that you guys want to be working on in smaller breakout discussion that will be starting after the lightning presentations. And so if you're from the space domain, roughly, list a high impact but underexplored pathway for space progress, where you're oh damn, why isn't there more research or more development really happening in that space? If you already know why there's not more happening, you can list okay, this is a thing that's holding this space back. And if you could already if you have an idea for what a better R&D mechanism would look like to kind of really kickstart space progress, also put it in there. So this is kind of a space for you guys to brainstorm. What we'll be doing in a second, we're going to start off our presentations. So they are lightning talks. They're really short, about 5 minutes, 3 minutes Q&A. They give you a rough understanding of a few ideas that you may want to explore in breakouts. But after the lightning talks, we'll go back to the larger sheet. So if you really want a topic that you guys want to be focusing on doing a breakout, list it here, and we'll come back to it. We're going to create a short list, and then we're going to have like 3 to 5 different groups exploring different areas. And then we'll do a little bit of like brainstorming, a breakout, and then you guys come back into the main area for a final report out of how possibly could we make more progress in the domain that you care about within space. The talks are really like starting from like immediate progress to all the way out there. We have it all covered, I think. All right, well, with that, I will maybe show you like a few fun intro slides to how people have thought about in the Foresight community about space progress. So this is from a long, long time ago, 1995, an Extropy magazine kind of forecasting slide where different people, including Eric Drexler, who co-founded Foresight, were predicting on long-term progress. And here are a few ones that are relevant for the space domain. Safe to say, I think we're unfortunately not there yet on many of these fronts. Progress has been a little bit slower than expected. Likewise, here we had one of the first prediction markets run at our 1999 gathering, by which people sent checks to our offices. So we had this like, I guess, illegal gambling house going on to bet on space progress. And so here's the one on Space X Prize. And over the years, we've done like our people in the community have done like a variety of different kind of like efforts in the space domain, including like a kind of like privately attempted sea launch a while ago. And then like it took us a while, but like recently we've started out and supported Patrick Finley, one of our fellows in the Space Lander Challenge. So I think all of this kind of like progress that you see now in the Foresight community, at least, is like dating back on like really ambitious attempts early on. Who knows the L5 community or the L5 society? Like, okay, it was a society a long time ago that was trying to create like habitable spaces on the L5 points, basically. Again, like lots of kind of like interesting kind of like ideation on this going on. And then it took us again a little while until in 2023 we'll had our first Space Frontiers workshop again. So if you're interested in any more of these domains and like how Foresight is supporting that space domain, we have an entire page on this, including like a bigger workshop that's happening in September at the Chabot Space Center, where we bring together people both work on space technologies and new governance mechanisms for challenges that may be arising to kind of like really hash it out in proper project proposal form. We have a prize, the one that I just showed. We have a virtual seminar series where many people kind of like launch new products, stay up to date on what other people are doing in the space domain. And we have a wonderful cohort of fellows that's now in its 7th cohort, the fellowship. So there's plenty to explore, I think, in that domain, even the space tech tree, which is like wild. But this is just to say, those are a few different areas in which we are hoping to make progress. But I'm really, really curious to learn more today about a variety of different people that are making progress in that space. So the first one is David Furman. Let's see if we can get you up on here. David is working on a fantastic effort, Cosmica. And that is, I'm really loving that effort because it's really combining both the longevity and the space domain. So if you want to come up to the stage is yours.